And this future is an escape from the unsatisfactory present, which is really more of the past. And so we rely on our past to predict the future, and this predicting becomes a way to protect ourselves. And we're not here to predict and protect, we are here to see and accept change. It's conspiring, it's inspiring. It's informing and it's transforming. We're not here to predict and protect, we are here to see and accept so that we can create something new. George Bernard Shaw reminded us that if you can't change your mind, you can't change a thing. If you can't change your mind, you can't change a thing. If you can't change your mind about what happened in the past, about what happened a minute ago, about what happened a week ago, about what happened 10 years ago, about what happened 20 years ago, about what happened 50 years ago, about what happened 60 years ago, if you can't change your mind, you can't change a thing. We said that all it would take then is one idea to propel us into moving into becoming someone so very new. That would only take one idea, one opportunity to experience the power and presence of God in us, through us, and as us, as its infinite ideas to move us into something new that would lead us into changing our lives. One idea, one grand idea. Or we can continue to believe that our limited perspectives and points of view are the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And if your old ideas then are shutting you down and not opening you up to God, not opening you up to something new that's so inspiring, that we might then have to become drone-like in our movement, in our discovering who we are. I don't remember what month it was, but I told you about an experience I had with a coworker. I went up to him and he was explaining to me that he loved drones. You know what a drone is? It's the device that flies high. And so I said, oh, you love drones? I'm curious why you love drones so much. And he said, well, you know, they can fly miles and miles and miles and you can control them and they can get up very close to things that otherwise you couldn't see. And he said, you know, it's so you can get another perspective. I said, oh yeah. So you and I, we have to be drone-like. See, so that we can, it becomes, what we are looking for is so intimate and so personal. I'm talking about God, so intimate and so personal that we see it in ways that we've never seen it before, in ways that we could not see it unless we were drone-like. That we allow ourselves to fly miles and miles, get beyond ourselves, miles and miles and miles beyond any limiting thought, any limiting idea that we can have to gain a new perspective. I'm talking about change. You see, it's inspiring and conspiring. It's informing and it's transforming. We went on to say then that trouble don't last always. But the stories that we tell ourselves do. Until we change them. We said that the moral of the story then is that there's more to the story. And A Course in Miracles reminded us that an untrained mind can accomplish nothing. And so we said then, if you can't train your mind, if you can't train your mind, you can't change a thing. If you can't train your mind, you can't change a thing. Because you've got to train your mind so that you can change your mind. And we do this then so that we can bring light to our greatest fears. So that we can bring light to our greatest fears, so that we can become aware of what we've created around us. And this is important because what you've created around you is to protect you. And most of us then, we stand ready at all costs to defend it. When in fact, it's the very thing that needs to be changed. And we say we're not concerned about building something around us, but we're concerned about building something from the ground up. That's rooted in the rich soil of the infinite all good, whose roots run deep and stretch out far and wide. I told you, it was so good. It was as good for you as it was for me. Well, when the fact is, it's the very thing that needs to be changed. But we allow things to stay the same because we are satisfied. We are so satisfied. However, we discovered that there's a real difference between being satisfied and being free. There's a real difference. Being satisfied, we said, keeps you right where you are. Waiting. Waiting on others to change. Waiting on it to end. When is this going to be over? But being free, we said, it propels us into creating something new, into creating the life that we so desire. And we talked about self-love. We said it was very important. In fact, we said that self-love is the act of changing your mind. It's the act of changing your mind. We said that the more willing we are to change our mind, we will find that we become more willing to change our mind. We talked about commitment. We said that it takes a real commitment to change. And we said that change and good intent are similar, but not the same. You know, like a frog and a toad, a butterfly and a moth. Similar, not the same. You know, like the left side of my head and the right side of my head. Similar, but not the same. Commitment and good intention, similar, but not the same. It takes one who is committed then to move into change, to get so up close and personal with it, that you're engaged in a relationship, a personal relationship with it, where it becomes informing and transforming, conspiring and inspiring, where we are moved to create and to become someone new. Not the same, but change. We said that many of us, however, are not looking for a way in, we're looking for a way out. Because we really don't want to change. We're not looking for a way to seek and to find what's so deep within us, to behold what already is established in us. We said rather we just so satisfied, we just want to keep it the same. We don't really want to change. We say we do, but not for real. And I will say this then, that the final analysis is this, is that change demands that you change. It demands that we change. Because the truth is that on either side of us, we're either one step away from despair or we are one step away from enlightenment. But either way, change demands that you change. And so we said then that we are given then grand opportunities, an invitation of a lifetime, with every opportunity that presents itself to us to change. And that we don't want to miss out on one opportunity of it. We don't want to let one chance to change to pass us by. We don't want to miss out on the opportunity to behold what's already in us, to become so aware of what was already there, so that we get to the point where we let go of our what ifs, be present with what is, so that we may become available to all that there is. And that was just from January to June. Change had a whole lot to say. And I say, go back and look at the messages. I feel like we could do this another year. We could talk about change another year and it still wouldn't be enough time. Because if you can't change your mind, you can't change nothing. If you can't change your mind, you can't change nothing. Practitioners, come with me and stand with me and join me and moving into prayer. And being so up close and personal with change, when we all experience it in this moment as being so informing and so transforming, so conspiring and inspiring that each one of us now are so aware of this presence, this power and this presence that we call God. That is everywhere equally present, that is all that there is. That is not some part of us, but is all that we are. Let us in this moment be so rooted in knowing this truth that we behold this internal power and presence of God that is within us. That we know without a shadow of a doubt that we are one with the one. And that whatever is before us, that who and what we are, a divine expression and emanation of God as pure perfection. That we are already all right. And that everything we need, everything we desire is at hand. So whatever comes before us, let us all in this moment stand so rooted and firm in the rich soil of the infinite all good that we know that the ground that we stand on is holy. And then now and forevermore, our roots run deep into the rich soil of the all good, and that it spreads so wide. And no longer are we deterred and disturbed, but are moved into becoming and being more and more and more of who we are. Change from the inside out. Change and filled with the divine power and presence of God. And we are so aware that the past has no power on the present moment. And that we affirm and know that all the power that there is lies in the present moment, lies within me, and lies within you. Let us affirm and know that this great power and presence of God within us is grand, that it's mighty, that it's supreme, that it's superiority. And wherever we go, whatever we're doing, whoever we are being, that it has its way, that it flows through us, it grows through us, it shows up as us, that its words become our words, that we embody it and embrace it with our whole soul, our mind, and our spirit. We become so one with change in this moment and forevermore, that we are all informed and transformed by it, that we are all, that it is all conspiring and inspiring. But we are so moved to become more and more and more of who we are, and never the less. Oh, I stand in great gratitude about this. I give thanks for it. For all that it is, for all that we are, I give